Well, those are the kings of good times. Yes, they loot, then they scoot off to London, where they live it up in the lap of luxury. Hi there, you're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, and I'm Meghna Dekham. Vijay Mallya and Lalit Modi. Well, they've been enjoying their life in London. What you just saw was a video which was posted by Lalit Modi bragging about being the biggest fugitives of India. That's right. In London, they boast of being the biggest fugitives of India. And here's the irony. In India, Vijay Mallya has moved the court saying that the tag of fugitive economic offender should be removed. Look at the irony of it all. So it's okay to brag in London about being the biggest fugitives of India, but Mallya scorns when Indian agencies call him a fugitive, an economic fugitive. Go figure. Anyway, this is the video. There is another video that you can see on your screens. This is the video which is breaking the internet. Netizens have been saying, why are criminals partying while we get fined even for jumping a red light? Well, watch this. Lalit Modi, the former IPL chairperson, hosted this lavish birthday bash to celebrate the 70th birthday of his close friend, Vijay Mallya. The celebration was held at Lalit Modi's plush 6-bedroom home in Belgrave Square, which is one of London's most exclusive neighborhoods. The friends of Mallya reportedly flew in from India as well to attend this lavish event, birthday bash. Photographs from the evening, later circulated on social media, show the two fugitives from India laughing, dancing, and partying in London. The food menu, it was lavish, a mix of Indian and Lebanese cuisine. The music from the 70s and 80s were belted out as by a live DJ, during which the rich and glamorous groove took. There were also themed cupcakes around gold lettering which spelt out the word king. Essentially, the king of good times. He may be a fugitive, but he's still the king. In London, perhaps. Remember, both Lalit Modi and Mallya, both of them you can see on your screens, they live in the UK now. Lalit Modi had fled India after being suspended by the BCCI in 2010, while Mallya has been contesting extradition proceedings in the 9,000 crore bank fraud. Well, the post, which was put out by Lalit Modi himself celebrating their fugitive status, is as if it's some kind of a badge of honor. This post was accompanied by the caption. You can see that on your screens, a caption that read, "Let's break the internet in India. Something for you media folks. Eat your heart out with envy." In fact, this is a video which merits a repeat. Watch it again. Well, while both Nirav Modi and Vijay Mallya were flaunting their fugitive title in the UK, here in India, the fugitive economic offender wants the title to be dropped. Vijay Mallya has filed 2 petitions in the Bombay High Court, one challenging the order, declaring him a fugitive economic offender, and the other questioning the constitutional validity of the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. But the Bombay High Court has now asked Vijay Mallya when he intends to return to India. He has been told explicitly that the plea will not be heard unless he submits himself to the Bombay High Court's jurisdiction. Essentially, till you return, we are not even going to consider removing the fugitive tag which has been put on you by the Indian agencies. We will only review it if you return to India. So let's tell you what Vijay Mallya has been claiming so far and why he wants this tag of fugitive economic offender to be dropped. Well, he has claimed that the loan that he had taken by a consortium of banks which has sued him was to the tune of 6,203 crore rupees. The bank fraud, as claimed by the agencies, however, that figure stands at 9,000 crore rupees. And he claims that he's already paid 14,000 crore rupees. So he says he's more than even, he's paid more than he had taken, which is why that tag should be dropped. But let's tell you why India is now chasing Lalit Modi and Vijay Mallya, because we are going to show you the numbers which will make you realize the extent and the gravity of what they are accused of. Lalit Modi, remember, he was removed as the IPL chairperson. He had fled in 2010. He faces allegations of financial irregularities and he's been accused of bid rigging and money laundering. He is the one who's boasting of being a fugitive, the biggest fugitive of India. Then, of course, there is Vijay Mallya, who's there in the video with him. He fled India in 2016 as the legal woes kept mounting for him. He's wanted for fraud and money laundering. He failed to pay back loans to the tune, as per the agencies, of 9,000 crore rupees. In fact, the list of fugitives in safe havens is growing. There are many who have looted India and then fled India to live lavish lives outside. If you have money, it seems, no one can touch you, not even Indian laws. So are you rich enough to defraud is the question perhaps we should ask. We ask you this because of a writ petition which has been filed by the Sandesara brothers, following which it has been accepted. Nitin and Chetan Sandesara. Well, the Supreme Court has agreed to drop all criminal proceedings against them. This happened in a multi-crore bank fraud case. Let's start at the beginning. So the allegation against them is that of duping the banks of about $1.6 billion. The Supreme Court has now agreed that if they pay, which has happened, if they pay $570 million or about 5,100 crore rupees, then 1/3 of their settlement by the 17th of December, then criminal charges against them will be dropped, following which these charges against them have been dropped because the Sandesara brothers, who literally are rolling in money, have paid off this paltry amount for them and have managed to get all the charges against them dropped because, well, simply put, they can afford to. Well, let's now explain to you the math behind the fraud in the Sandesara's case as it appears. Because the CBI's FIR says that the bank fraud was to the tune of 5,383 crore rupees, something that the Sandesara brothers, of course, have denied. In 2022, the ED statement read that the proceeds of crime came to a whopping tune of 14,690 crore rupees, again, something denied by the Sandesara brothers. The ED's total attachment, however, was 14,353 crore rupees, which is why they say they've paid more than enough. Well, it's important for us to come back to the economic fugitives and the fugitives of India. Remember, the centre has declared 15 individuals as fugitives of India, economic offenders as per the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act of 2018. They owe around 58,000 crore rupees to public sector banks. This list, you can see some of their faces on your screens. This list includes high-profile names. Let's start with the Sterling Biotech Bank fraud case. The Sandesaras, they owe around 18,694 crore rupees, and all the charges now have been dropped against them. The next is Nirav Modi, along with his uncle Mehul Choksi, remember, accused of 13,000 crore rupees scam against the Punjab National Bank, the PNB. It was one of the biggest banking frauds in India's history. Then comes Vijay Mallya, once seen as the king of good times. He is accused of a 9,000 crore rupee bank fraud. This involves a consortium of public sector banks. Essentially, where does the public sector bank get its money from? From the taxpayers, people like you and me. Of course, there are others. There is Jatin Mehta, for example, of Winsome Diamonds, and a fraud of 7,000 crore rupees, which is also being investigated. Which is why now there's a lot of outrage after that video of Lalit Modi and Vijay Mallya partying in London started doing the rounds. They went viral. Why? Because there were netizens who were fuming away over their audacity, the simple audacity of these two fugitives of India bragging about fugitives as if it's a badge of honor. This is what one of the netizens has said. Karma will follow today or tomorrow. Another one said, it's not humor. It's open mockery of India with this boast. Third one has said, economic offenders joke around freely in foreign shores. There's another one who says, it exposes just how weak enforcement really is. Another one has said, the rich can loot the country, flee, and then go ahead and laugh. And here's the stinger. A person has said, people like us, the Janta, we face the full force of law for much, much smaller crimes. But the rich and mighty get away. That is the reality of India. Let me go across to our panelists. Joining us on the show, we have Dr. Kisle Pandey, a solicitor in the Supreme Court. Also, Anjan Deveshwar is joining us, a former employee of Kingfisher Airlines, of course, which belongs to the king of good times. Anjan Deveshwar, I'm going to come to you first. You know the agony of people like you and several others in Kingfisher who were not paid for the hard work they put in for the airlines. Dues are still pending. What was your first reaction when you saw the 70th birthday bash of Vijay Mallya hosted by Lalit Modi?
See, it is utter shamelessness on part of Vijay Mallya. He did same thing while he was in India for his 60th birthday. Enrique and all other people came. So he's a willful defaulter and a shameless person. So I was not a much shock to me because he's like that. That is in his genes. But this is definitely mockery of the system. But but there is some lessons we should learn. There are so many defaulters, those who are still in India as we speak, but still their passports are with them. Why don't we confiscate their passports? Why we are waiting for them to run away? One after the another, some other person is running. So why we are not learning lesson from these people? Secondly, like this guy who has run away from here and he's a criminal offender and fugitive, why constitutional remedies are given to such people? He's trying to question the very act while he's not following the rules himself. He has not paid salaries. He has not deposited the income tax which he has deducted from us, and he has not deposited with the government. Now that huge amount is showing pending in our accounts still. And these income tax officers, they are hounding us, they are sending us notices, and they are recovering that amount from us. So that is a double whammy for us. First of all, we didn't receive salary, and income tax officers, they are after us. They are recovering the dues which Mallya is supposed to pay. They are recovering from us, in spite of the circular, in spite of the court orders that employee is not responsible for TDS not deposited by Mallya. So my question is, when he was not depositing TDS, why that time action was not taken?
Why wasn't action taken? Very valid point. They weren't paid salaries. Now they get hounded by the income tax officers to pay the dues, which Vijay Mallya should have been paying. But he's, well, busy in London partying. And here's the problem, Dr. Pandey. There are people like you and me, others who are watching this channel, who are thinking that there are farmers in India who have taken a loan of a paltry sum of 10,000, 20,000 rupees. They get harangued by the loan sharks, forced to take their own lives. They commit suicide over loans as small as 20,000 rupees. And here you have thousands of crore rupees loans which are still pending. But because they are rich, they get away. What's wrong with this? Sandesara brothers have gotten away with it. Vijay Mallya, even Lalit Modi. If you're rich, you can afford to defraud. Is that the lesson, Dr. Pandey?
Absolutely. The point being raised by you are very valid, and I must congratulate Times Now for raising such a valid questions and points. And I must apprise you before I begin that Vijay Mallya has filed 2 petitions before Honorable Bombay High Court. Yes. One was challenging the constitutional validity of the Act, and second, his designation as a fugitive under this Act.
Yes.
So Bombay High Court has said that we will not hear both the petitions simultaneously, we will hear only one. But what is the irony? That similar tactic he has applied before Honorable Supreme Court few years back when the petition was being heard by the bench of Justice Chelameshwar Sahab, and that petition was dismissed, and dismissed with exemplary heavy historical cost of rupees 10 lakh of rupees. And what is shocking to me that this fact has not been apprised to Honorable Bombay High Court, that we have already faced the dismissal and 10 lakh of rupees cost was awarded to Vijay Mallya. So this is very much shocking to me, and this is the irony of this entire case. That concealing this matter, and writ has been filed and it is being heard, and instead of facing the dismissal right then and there, the matter has been allowed to continue for the next date of hearing.
He should be given no hearing whatsoever because it's been rejected by the Supreme Court.
Nobody can be allowed to play with the Indian judicial system with remote control.
But that is the problem. Dr. Pandey, that Anjan was also raising right now. We feel, people like us, the common man feels that we are not entitled to play with the laws, but they are. They get away with it. If I even jump a red light, I'll have to pay a fine and pay a challan. Perhaps even turn up in court if I refuse to do it on time.
Very valid point, and that is the irony. And I must suggest Mr. Anjan to immediately to approach the Honorable Bombay High Court against these actions by income tax authorities and the concerned officers or individual whosoever they are, and we are ready to offer our pro bono support, being the responsible citizen of the country and responsible court officer of courts of law.
Thank you so much. That's huge. Dr. Kisle Pandey is saying that pro bono, we are ready to fight if people like Anjan Deveshwar want to challenge this plea by Vijay Mallya in the Bombay High Court. Anjan Deveshwar, that's a huge legal support which is coming your way.
Thank you, Meghna. Thank you.
You can approach my office, and my office will be at your disposal to support you, and it will be absolutely pro bono.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. But actually, there are orders from the High Court, individual orders, but still income tax, they are not filing. They are not.
Then there will be. Then they have to face the heat of contempt of court. Just don't worry at all.
So
and I must assure you, under the strength of law, that you will be given a proper relief under the virtue of law.
Dr. Kisle Pandey there promising that they're going to fight this in the Bombay High Court, even offering to fight this case pro bono for the likes of Anjan Deveshwar. So thank you so much. That's a huge Times Now impact, that some kind of way forward, a legal way forward is being charted out to ensure that there is justice. Anjan Deveshwar, one quick question from you, because I find it very ironical. Vijay Mallya goes to the High Court, says, I'm not a fugitive. Remove that tag that I'm a fugitive after the Supreme Court already says you will have to be called a fugitive because of your actions. But when it comes to social media, they are bragging about it in London. Do you see the irony behind it, Anjan?
Yeah, this is a double standard. And I will also bring to your attention that our judicial system is to be also blamed. They are giving such a long rope to criminals like Vijay Mallya and wasting precious time hearing his nonsense pleas and challenges. And some of our lawyers like Desai Saab, who is representing him, is also misguiding the court, and he's saying he has a fundamental right to property. Right to property is not.
That's a very valid point. Dr. Pandey, are the laws strict enough? The the Economic Offenders Act has been passed. Many say that it's a great step forward. But is it actually being implemented on the ground? Is it really stopping anyone?
No, it is being implemented, and I must apprise you and your learned viewers that right always comes with a responsibility. Your responsibility to first submit yourself to the Indian judicial system and then enjoy the rights. But this cannot this cannot be allowed that you are while present outside of the country will play with the entire system with remote control and showing your dance moves on different songs. You should preserve your dance moves to be played on Indian soil sooner or later.
You'll have to come back, and that is exactly what the High Court has said. That if you want
karma will
to
follow
put out, the karma will follow. That is something that people on the internet are saying, that karma will follow you today or tomorrow. But importantly, the High Court has said, first you return to India, submit yourself to Indian jurisdiction, only then will we take it forward. Anjan Deveshwar, if Vijay Mallya is listening to you, you being a former employee of Kingfisher, what's the message that you'd send to him?
Definitely, if he thinks that he is not guilty, he should come back. Indian judicial system is such that we have given a fair trial to terrorists like Assad, and also Supreme Court for a terrorist who is due for capital punishment. For them also, we open the Supreme Court in midnight. So why if he is not guilty, why he should come back and face the.
Okay. Fair enough. So that will be the final word on the show. Vijay Mallya, if you're not guilty, if you feel that you've done your due, repaid more than you had borrowed, it's time you return to India, submit yourself to the Indian system, to the Indian judiciary, to the Indian system of justice, and let the courts decide. Thank you so much, Dr. Pandey as well as Anjan Deveshwar, for joining us here on the show. With that, a short break.